you're dealing with sci-fi comedy, you've got a huge fan base of the genre that are watching not only for the science fiction but the comedy as well, and they watch sci-fi programs and know all the other references and other shows that have happened over the last 25, 30, 40 years of sci-fi in TV and film. And so when we began on this, it was very important for the show and the characters and the look that we gave it and the set and the spaceship, the Camden Lock. We all had to create this world that we were very certain of, that played within the rules that have kind of been set by this 40-year history of TV and film sci-fi.
The starting point from my design generally goes back to doing quite a lot of research, looking at a lot of references, other films, other TV shows, maybe architecture, buildings, interiors, and drawing stuff from all those areas, really.
I mean, the first thing we all did was bring out every single spacecraft movie, and we just watched everybody else's control room, everybody else's corridors, and everybody else's propulsion system and things like that.
The intention was to try and build the notion of a spaceship that we haven't seen in other films or TV programmes. An environment that maybe has been designed by perhaps Philippe Stark's great-great-great-great-great-grandson. The physical factors you have to bear in mind when you're designing are creating an environment that the cameras can move within. Also to give the lighting director surfaces that he can either light through or onto. It's important, obviously, to have a certain architecture that's going to look good on screen. So for this, it was my idea to use a lot of angles to suggest that the designers had used an awful lot of maths in the design of the spaceship.
We'd seen the designs and things, and it was all looking great, but you know, it just...
Yeah, and every floor plan that Simon gave us, there was always a bit more corridor on it. And we never sort of asked where this corridor came from, but just there it was.
I don't know where they got the money from. There's something dodgy going on. There's some kind of... we're going to find out in 20 years' time. It's all some huge...
Someone's getting backhanders from a timber company or something.
Some drugs ring or something. It's all money laundering.
Yeah.
They spent it all on corridor.
Camden Lock came about, I think it was Andy who had the original idea, that he was sketching. Andy's a brilliant cartoonist, and he was sketching away. And he sketched out the Camden Lock, and it turned out, if you put it on its vertical axis, it looked like the post office tower.
So we built the Camden Lock from a sketch that was in SFX that was done by one of the writers, Andy, I think. And we did a flyby with the ship and managed to get hold of a contact from the BBC, and we sent it in. So that got us kind of our foot in the door. And we went down to see them and explained what we would do and how we would do it, and it all went from there, really. Well, this is the inspection ship called HMS Seton Carew. It's actually named after a place near us. These are some of the first lighting tests that we've done with the Camden Lock. So these are still work in progress, but we're looking at trying to give it a sense of scale, because it's a big ship at the end of the day, and we're trying to, the lighting we're putting on it is to try and give that sense that this is a large ship. So we've picked out things like the Union Jack, obviously, so we know straight away that it's a British ship. The comedy is the number one thing at the end of the day. Yes, it's set in space, so we have to make it look contemporary to everything everybody else has seen, you know, films and TV, but it can't distract from the comedy. So it's a very fine line we have to tread between trying to make it look as good as possible, but just not distracting from anything else, and being coherent with the look of everything else as well. We've worked quite closely with the production designer to try and incorporate some of what he's got on set with what we've got on the exterior.
Because it is a functioning spaceship, it's real. People work on there, its crew, it has missions, it has orders. It had to look real and functioning.
What we're trying to do with the aliens is kind of push it a bit further, that it's all very well, this kind of new realism school of comedy that we all belong to.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to do something that it's still believable because they're aliens.
Yeah.
You are rebels sent by my enemies.
Hey, Chief, can I just...
You have tried our patience for too long. but no more. For I now have a weapon of unimaginable power. The Doom Ray.
Oh God, no.
And this is one of your fellow rebels. Watch as my Doom Ray disintegrates him. In under 3 days. Keep still, will you?
The nice thing about writing the aliens is that you can write them in quite a different style to the humans. So the humans all have to carry, I mean even Sandstrom, have to carry a sort of an emotional story, and you've got to see the real emotions in there. The aliens don't have to have any of that. They can basically come on as comic turns.
All that door opening.
Talkie door! Talkie door! Talkie door!
Yes, do you want to come through?
The other
Door closing.
Talkie door! Talkie door!
Door
Talkie door! Talkie door! Talkie door! Talkie door!
Yes.
Talkie door!
door opening.
Talkie door! Talkie door!
Door
Talkie door! Talkie door! Talkie door!
Yes.
Talkie door!
Talkie door.
Talkie door!
Yes, it's a door.
Talkie door!
Door closing.
You start from the script, so there's certain characteristics that leap off the page immediately for the Bular, who are incredibly intelligent and wise and mysterious and ethereal, and the Lanarkists, who are boisterous, obnoxious, aggressive thugs. And so that's your starting point. And so when you get talking to our Emmy Award-winning prosthetics designer, David Jones, and costume Morgan, and the writers, we all sit around and just discuss what they could look like.
Basically, you have to put together with the production designer a look that has been sort of taken from the scripts. Basically, you read your scripts and you read what's required, and you interpret it along with your director and your production designer and the producers and the writers and everybody. So everybody has an input, but I'm the one that has to sort of draw it and find the fabrics and put it all together and make sure it gets on screen.
On this one, in a way, we sort of just got as much feedback as we could from the scripts and the writers. And then again, we sort of spoke to Alex and to John. And then when we had a rough little idea about things then and a guideline, I came away then and with Mike, who I'm sort of co-designing this from Hybrid with, we sat down and sort of worked through a couple of ideas. I had an interview with the producer and the director, and we seemed to click. I brought along lots of ideas, and I think it was the rubber catalogue that I brought along that helped, which has now turned into the alien planet Quepu. So I think that swung it.
Father, let us honour them as guests of Quepu.
My daughter has wisdom beyond her years. You will dine with us. A feast!
Sir, is that set feast number 1 or set feast number 2?
Which one has the little claws with the dippy sauce?
Number 2.
Set feast number 2, then. Set feast number 2!
The Bular were great because it was a hard one then, because we'd sort of been given a little brief that they wanted them to be sort of like a royalty, and but because there's been so much stuff out there in regards to Star Wars, Star Trek, Voyager and all these, it was very hard to actually get into something that hasn't been done. So, royalty-wise as well, and that regal look of stuff, most of the time when we wanted something that was to look old and, intelligent and stuff, you start going down with wizened old hair and beards and stuff. So we thought we can't go down that way. It can't be like the Gandalf type person or anything like that. So we started trying to do it in the chin. So we elongated the chin and elongated the forehead.
And I think with the Bular at one point we were all going, well, they're mysterious and wise and clever, and somebody sort of stroked their chin, and then that chin stroking suddenly became, well, they could have really long chins, couldn't they? And maybe their ears could have lobes or not lobes. And in the end we went for the big long chin look, and then Davey augmented that and built it into a proper face mask, and they've got this jewel that sort of lights up, and we think that that's what the Bula look like. Who's going to tell us we're wrong?
Not always.
Two very noble races, who I don't want to hear described in any of the following terms. Chin lords, genderless sky numpties, zobbers,
blue-veined cocks of the void.
Blue-veined cocks of the void. That is all.
So when are the Humpty Heads getting here then?
And Humpty Heads.
The Lalakists, they're childlike. They're like 10-year-olds who have had an awful lot of sugar in the past hour, and they're running around being aggressive and I want this, who hot boy, give me hot boy, I want that, I want this, give me that.
It's not hard to talk like Lalakists. It's something we can do on a daily basis.
It's quite easy.
Who here? Who hot boy?
That's Vine, the ship's navigator.
Oh, you come here, hot boy, yeah? Yeah, you sit on my knee, I'll give you eternity ring. You my hot boy. You like a steak.
Come on.
Talkie door. Look.
Lalakists were a good one because with Morgan, who was the costume designer as well, which is I left her. I forgot about Morgan, but I shouldn't do because it's a huge part with makeup and costume together, with that balance between the two of them. But once I saw Morgan's costume and the way she wanted to take him, so they were like a bit space cowboy, that sort of way, we went then and thought, okay, think of beaten up Jack Palance with a bit of low tech and a bit of high tech. So we decided, they were going to have grills for noses, but really generally beaten up and dirty and, stubble and everything like that. So that sort of gave us an idea of, in a way, something quite humanoid, but just distressing it quite a lot.
Go in front of them. Oh, what the... Oh.
Your accent's very good.
Thank you. We are the Glish.
Before we proceed, may we lick your hands?
Of course. Well, there's nothing sexual in this. Taste is our most highly developed sense. When we meet a new friend, we always taste them.
Yeah.
It's part of their culture.
I don't want to have to. Okay. On behalf of the British government, we'd like to ask if you would relocate some of your industry to the Peterborough Enterprise Zone. Look, it's ring. Okay.
Let's talk business.
Yes, let's.
We knew we wanted to have something that was a huge, big, gross fat neck with loads of rolls of fat in it, large head.
There's nothing about faces in the archives.
Nothing sexual. I've already made that very clear.
I don't want it to happen.
Good egg.
I don't like
Do it for Britain.
And the business rates are subsidised for 3 years.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Guys, sorry. I just need one signature each and...
Also, we must rub our genitals against your head, Commander.
We also taste with our genitals.
There's nothing sexual in this.
No, I mean, it's a very charming cultural trait, I'm sure.
No,
but
we must rub our genitals against your head.
You will insult us if you refuse.
Stop it. You don't really care about Peterborough, do you?
No, we did a deal with America.
What? We'd love to rub our genitals against your head.
Stop it. You're...
So everything was a little bit of a trade-off, really. So we are still now going with fat neck. It's their own tongue. They will be all slimy. They will still lick people, as part of their greeting. And, large head and quite gross, really.
It's just an organic process. You start on the page, you talk with the writers, and John and then Davey, and you work up to something, and then you see designs all the time. But at each stage, say, can we tweak it like this? Could the hair be longer? Could that vein be more stand out? Can the jewel light up, or should we just leave it alone? And then eventually we get to something that we think works for the part.
Oh, you kids, huh? You just thought you should know. 9 British ships closing on us. Oh.
So, boys, can I just see you all in the front position, please?
So the actors rehearse with the director, and and they do that, and
with no one else
with
around.
no one else in the room, which is great. So the actors get to relax and do it, and then they'll do a rehearsal for the crew and for us. And at that point, if we think a line's not working, or if we've got an idea, or if the actors are worried about a line, then we'll go into a little huddle and we'll work on the scene.
Yeah, and usually within
the scene.
3 to 4 to 5 minutes, while they're setting up the cameras, we've got our changes.
I just wonder whether we could give a line to like this. Sandstrom either says full power or says Hyperdrive.
Oh.
Just sounds, because she's the only one who hasn't got a line in the scene.
You're right.
Well, suppose she says Hyperdrive after full power.
Yeah, he says full power and she says Hyperdrive, and it's the only time you hear it.
Well, I think that's great.
Yeah. Kevin and Andy are brilliant to work with. First of all, they've written 6 fantastically original and funny scripts, and they've given us a set of characters which I think are so identifiable to a lot of people, and to work with them is just a joy. They are really nice, easygoing, funny, original, clever writers.
Keep it the things. Just a question, you know, the airlock line, because it's a very wordy speech, that the airlock isn't, you know, R seemed quite nice because it, but it was true.
You could try both.
I don't know, it's a question, you know.
I think I think actually what it is, he delivers it so much like arse.
Yeah.
That's why
Fat airlock. And fat. The fat means you know what it's going to be. Fat airlock. I do think it's made me laugh.
His fat. I think it is very original too. It's just you know, as you say,
And also, if he says airlock, then we can have all of arses.
Yeah.
Yes. It frees up that.
It frees up the arse joke.
Yeah.
Frees up the word arse.
Because we realised that we had the word arse turning up in both the A and the B plot at around about the same time, and that's, you can't have that. You can't have one arse is fine, 2 arses is fine. And then everyone go and have a cup of tea, and then it's time to shoot it. It would make me very pleased if it was, if people who didn't normally like science fiction give this a go, because it's got
characters.
Yes, it's got this sort of, hopefully this sort of Croft and Perry effect of having lots of characters of lots of different social classes all sort of thrown together in a situation where they have to do things. So I think hopefully there's one person in the mix that anyone could identify with.